Well, we got some clear skies here in Sportsland SUGO once again here in the mountainsides of Murata, Miyagi. Welcome everyone to, of course, round 1 of the 2024-25 Hololive GT3 Japan series, and today we'll be racing the Split B race of the SUGO 500. So let's take a look into the track map on what SUGO it does entail. It's a track that has been carved in the mountainside, as you can see here. Lots of characteristics that you want from a circuit: slow tight corners, chicanes, and then fast sweeping corners from one end to the other, and especially long straights for you to facilitate overtaking. And as what we have seen in the Split A race, I would expect that we will be able to see, sorry if the special thingy is not on, but yeah, anyways, just want to remind you that this track does facilitate great racing and great overtakes, just like what we have seen yesterday. Let's just hope that we can see just about the same thing for this race as well. And just wanted to remind everyone about, just wanted to check on the certain situation here. Yes, we are actually going to replace some of the standings here because it's actually pretty outdated. So anyways, let's take a look into the new championship standings for the Split B drivers. As you can see, some slightly different colors here and there. But I just want to remind everyone about the ordering for the drivers. So 9 drivers have come from this ZACO, and 10 drivers come from the CEO. And of course we have Masaraido, Maverick Ducien, Pochizono Rio, Daniel Parker, now ready to ply their trades once again in the Hololive GT3. And then there is Ryu and Joshu Asahi. Joshu Asahi being the debutant for Hakui Koyo. He makes his first ARO race today. And looking into the story of debutants, you can say that Joshu Asahi and Joey are essentially running their first races, so they are essentially debutants. Speaking of which, we have Momokashu and Joey, and then we have the 2024 ZACO Series champion, Shango, currently 11th in the seeding for Ichijo Ririka. I just want to remind everyone that Ichijo Ririka now uses an Aston Martin, Joey uses the Lexus, well, Jupiter Rider uses the Lexus, and Masaraido's the Kokodoro Hajime uses the BMW. And that should be the drivers for the ZACO Series. For the Zero Series, meanwhile, we have Iron Nakamura, Muhammad Shakir Reza, Hofumi, Lorenzo Ricci, Ladislav Demoshev, and then we have Jake Goodwin, Danilo Goyena, as well as Kyle Williams, Raja Kaczynski, and Isekai Dimitroff. So very exciting stuff in prospect as we are about to get this qualifying session underway. So of course my name is Muhammad Shakir Reza in the commentary booth, and unfortunately it's still just going to be a one-man booth, which doesn't really help, but we have to run what we have at the moment, so I can't complain too much. So anyways, we're about to get the qualifying session underway here in Sportsland SUGO, but the timer has yet to cross the 10-minute, or we have the timer has yet to, or rather the clock has yet to strike into the 11th hour here in Japan. So we'll just take our time before the time it does actually set themselves to 10 or rather 11 in the Japan time. So if you have any questions in the booth, you can feel free to share. Will be more than happy to answer your questions. So we got 19 cars ready to race here in qualifiers. Hopefully, looks to me that he hasn't set a time yet. Looks to me that he might just have issues. So we're just going to get into qualifying, see if things have changed. So we got the cars now out on track. The first car out on track is of course Joey, and then that looks to me Pochizono Rio is also out as well. As you see, some racing finally starting to take shape with this qualifying session. Kaczynski's also out, Tyler Williams is out. Now the big question is Hofumi, whether or not he's able to get his car ready for the start of this race. As more Lexus cars continue to get out. That's Mama Cashew also coming out as well. Oh, this is some interesting look here. Just want to see which of these drivers are actually being very, very quick in this session. As you know, it was the Nissans that showed their pace. 5 Nissans in the top 10 last time out in Split A. We will be seeing more or less the same from the other Nissans in Split B, and of course the Nissan drivers include Tyler Williams, Mama Shakir Reza, Hofumi, Maverick DCM, and Daniel Barger, among others. And I'm looking at Tyler Williams, though, who is about to start his lap. So here's a lap here in Sportsland SUGO. Just get a great exit from the back straight for you to absolutely use the engine into the first corner, right at a 100-meter board into the first 2 corners. You can treat it as a single corner here, turns 1 and 2. And then in turn 3, you can have to place your car very well to also carry a lot of speed. In turn 3, third gear here. And if you pass the curves on the right side, you go into turn 4 at second gear, and then you have to be fiddly with your first chicane, or rather the only chicane at the track, as he sets the fastest first sector. Meanwhile, Williams might just have some traffic as he gets into Rainbow Corner. An exit of Rainbow Corner is very important. A very good exit is even more important. As you can see, there's this long back straight that probably utilizes the engine of your car. And then here is horseback. Pretty decent line through here as the drivers continue to navigate their way into SB in and out through this single set of corners to maintain momentum. And into the final corner, it's slightly back, so you have to carry as much speed as possible. And that should be a lap here in SUGO, and he might be able to grab some oh-so-sweet slipstream for him to go top. And as we have said it, Tyler Williams is now on top with a 122.214. That might be the pole sitter time, but we have seen 122 once. Koji Sonori, on the other hand, is not good with the pace right now. He's only able to set a 126.023 right now. Again, he's one of the first drivers to have come out, but at the same time, a 126 is not good. Chakareza Minoa has already set the fastest third sector. Joshua Asahi has set the fastest first sector. Aya Nakamura the fastest in the second sector. The 2 Hondas are now starting to cross the line. Aya Nakamura has crossed the line as Nakamura goes 5th, and Joshua Asahi in his Hololive GT3 debut, he's currently top for Hakoi Koiri. Amazing stuff. Aya Nakamura is responding with a quick first sector, the fastest that anyone has gone in the first sector, but not before Joshua Asahi manages to beat Nakamura in that first sector race. Looking into the top here, Joey is in 3rd in the Jufute Errate Lexus, with Jay Goodwin 4th for Okami. Looks to me that Hofumi just continues to struggle to get out of the car, or rather get out of the pit lane, as he continues to be beset with car problems. Here's Daniel Barger, currently having a very quick few mini sectors in that final sector. One thing that Nakamura has already set a purple second sector. Joshua Asahi might just be able to respond, but no, Nakamura does maintain the second sector, the fastest in the second sector status. As Nakamura crosses the line, she now goes 2nd, beats Tyler Williams, and makes it all Honda front row. Meanwhile, Joshua Asahi manages to, oh my goodness, he actually extends his lead to almost half a second. Joshua Asahi in his Hololive GT3 debut, being a proper assistant to Koiri. He's now making his statements clear. Although I do want to pay attention to Riley, who is now finally unleashed. He does have a fast mini sector in Sector 1. we'll have to see if he can be able to live up to expectations, or rather beat expectations, as his rival in the Hakkui Koiri number 54 is up on pole position. At least he can come close with a second best time. An interesting qualifying session is coming in at Sportsland SUGO. Less than 4 minutes to go. And right now we have a few drivers who have absolutely struggled in this qualifying session so far. Hoshizono Ryo is not in his gear, sitting down in 18th. Well, hopefully he's in a state of dire circumstances, as he's now currently still stuck in the pit lane, still essentially having car problems. So we're gonna look into some of the other drivers who might just be able to set faster times. Looking at Lorenzo Ricci, who is ahead of Raija Kaczynski, who is a position higher than him at the moment. So this will be an interesting sight to see who actually goes out on top, at least between the two. But we do know that there is a Koyo Kuro battle right now. Lorenzo Ricci actually set the fastest final sector from out of nowhere, but he has went off a bit. Looking into some of the other bigger gainers here, looking at possibly Lorenzo Ricci, but we're gonna see if his first sector actually does the trick. But I don't think his first sector might just be able to do the trick. Meanwhile, the Hondas this time are showing up here in Sportsland SUGO, but remember, they can be pretty good in qualifying, but they need to deliver it in the race and have a masterful strategy if they want to stay on top. Of course, Joshua Saki has wowed in excitement as he is now on top of this qualifying standards with a pretty sizable margin in pole position in that Hakkui Koiri number 54. Drivers before him, they have not seen success. I mean, there were like 3 drivers before Joshu. There were the likes of Z Grimbley, who now races for Shirakami Fubuki, and of course he did the second yesterday, so congratulations to him once again. And then there is Fabio Mendes, the supposed full-time driver for Hakkui Koiri. Well, he didn't race for Hakkui Koiri for about a year in aero competition before he handed in a request to leave the series due to lack of interest. And then there's Takashi Bin, who was actually keen on filling in the seats until controversies happened and he got kicked out of the server and he was banned from the organization. So now we have a proper assistant in the likes of Joshua Asahi, who is now piloting the number 54 Koiri Honda, and he's now on top. Meanwhile, we got Daniel Barger looking to see if he's able to get some faster times. He has set a personal best in the first sector. He is coming into the second as well. Shango sees improvement, but he's stuck in 16th. The defending Zako Series champion is now down in the run outside the top 10. And remember, in regards to qualification for the CO and Zako Series, it's now changed from last season, where you need to finish in the top half you need to finish in the top half of your group of the qualifiers for you to essentially have a good shot. Oh, and then Barger decided to come into the pits. Rather, you need to finish inside the top 9 in either of the splits for you to get automatic qualification to the CO Series. Otherwise, if you finish 10th, you will need to rely on tiebreakers to determine which of these 10 placed cars and drivers are better. And then 11 onwards, they're just down in the Zako. We still have 7 cars who have yet to cross the line, and it looks to me that Hoshizonari and Shango. And then we have Wamakashi being one of the last cars to cross the line. We'll see if there are any improvements so far. Ryu does not improve, so Joshua Asahi is going to be your pole sitter. And Vlaza Damasha improves himself to get himself up into 6th place. As the last cars are about to come into the pits, with the session now over. And that should be official. Joshua Asahi is your pole sitter. He scored a pole position on his debut. So I just want to remind you why Mohamed Cashew actually has Grave Flower as his helmet. He lost his helmet once, and Grave Flower just so happens to have a spare light up at the track. Well, in the Aero's headquarters, so the Aero has happily allowed Cashew to borrow their Grave Flower's helmet. So anyways, let's not backtrack ourselves too much, as we're about to list out the starting lineup here in Sportsland SUGO for the SUGO 500 Split B race. So let's take a look here into the starting lineup here. 18 cars have already taken the finish line as they have set their times. We have Joshua Asahi, who set a 121.776, the only driver who was able to break into the 121s for Hakui Koyori in his debut campaign for Hakui Koyori. And then we have a low rivalry finally flaring up here, as we have Sakamata Chloe Honda driver Ryu currently in 2nd, with Irie Nakamura 3rd for Akai Hato, which makes it a Honda 1-2-3 at the start. Tal Williams starts 4th for Amane Kanada, with 5th place Jufutin driver Joey in 5th. Fasato Masnev 6th for Aki Rosenthal, with Jake Goodwin 7th for Okami Mio. Daniel Bogg starts 8th for Hoshimani Suisei, and Danilo Goyena starts 9th for Sarapekora. Cashew starts 10th for Tsunamaki Watame, the same track on which his predecessor Aaron Massey scored his pole position the last 2 times we have raced in SUGO. Navigasium starts for Omar Polka in 11th place, with Raja Kaczynski 12th for Yusuke Choco. Lawrence Ricci 13th for Hosha Marie, with Mamashaki Reza 14th for Momosu Nene. Isakaji Mikolas starts 15th for Sakura Miko, with Hoshizora Rio 16th for Nakiri Ayame. And then we have Shango is 17th for Ichijo Reika, and Masa Raido 18th for Todoroki Hajime. So it's going to be the same thing for Jake Martinez for him, but we'll have to check into that later. And hopefully we'll start at the back of the grid for him because he didn't set a lap time. So that out of the way, we are going to essentially get this race underway, and we'll see if we are able to move the cameras in slowly and carefully. Man, I really. Alright, so we are going to point the cameras into the start finish line, as the default cameras are not the ones that cooperate. So, anyways, finally we have been able to essentially fix the issues with the cameras, at least as a stopgap. So we got Joshua Asahi and Ryu on the front row of the grid. Irie Nakamura starts 3rd, with Tyler Williams 4th. The first 2 Lexus cars occupy the 3rd row, and the miscellaneous Regloss cars that are not the Nissan, Lexus, and Honda cars are currently at the back. Hopefully, might just have issues at the start once again, as his car just continues to have problems. Bit of a misfire and just not able to start the car at all. So with the race now ready to start, it's Joshua Asahi on pole position with Ryu in 2nd place. Who's gonna lead in this turn into these first few corners? We're gonna go. As you can see, Hofumi continues to struggle even getting out of the car. As you can see here, Ryu now having to defend against Irie Nakamura on the outside. But Joshua Asahi currently leads this race, and Ryu managing to stay in 2nd. Lots of contact left, right, and center as these drivers are still going side by side into turn 3 and 4. That's Wawasaki Freza making contact with Danilo Goyena. Fortunately, they avoid any further controversy between these two. As Joshua Sahi currently leads this race, two drivers going side by side. The chicane, this never ends well usually. Anyway, Joshua Sahi leads, Ryu second, Tyler Williams third, Nakamura fourth, Vlasa Damashnev fifth, Joey sixth, Daniel Barger seventh, Jake Goodwin eighth, Mohamed Cashew ninth, and Maverick Simmons in the top 10. Watch out for Daniel Barger going down the inside. Barger just giving enough room for Joey to essentially scramble. Danilo Goyena's not had a great start. He's down a few positions. Iwasaki Reza continues to gain just a bit, as you can see here. So Hofumi is your confirmed first DNF of this first DNFer of this race. Very, very unfortunate for the Dinosaur driver who wants to open the season up with a bag, given the Nissan's potentially great performances. As you can see, Daniel Barger continuing to make passes after passes. The Suisei Nissan continuing to show up, despite Suisei's no-show in recent time, at least as far as the uniform is concerned, with the exception of that one Gen 0 live concert. Maverick CM is now overtaken. Mohamed Cashew and the Nissans are showing their mettle here in Sugo. So we will check on lap 3 to see how the essentially fuel loads are for the drivers, and especially the predicted amount of laps that they are able to handle. And as for the Nissans, we have Tyler Williams potentially looking for a move against Ryu and Joshua Sahi. So we're gonna go on board with Tyler Williams to see how he's able to get close. As you can see here, the lawn driver just losing a good amount of time on that final corner, but it should be okay. And as you can see here, with the estimated laps of fuel coming in, Joshua Sahi now comes in with the fastest lap of the race, 124.237. So this one will be something to look out for. And we have Shango now now up into, oh, that's Isakaji Mikolev. He's now retired. And it looks to me that Mikolev had been given contact at around the two SP corners. So we'll check into what happened to Isakaji Mikolev after the race, but another retirement for Mikolev, who actually is the highest seated driver, if seating is a thing here in Hololive GT3. He's down, just down and out. Very, very unfortunate there for all the Miko P's who may be watching this stream. So now, just like what we have seen in display race, we now have 17 cars remaining. I'm not sure what happened there with Mikolev, or rather who he made contact with, but it looks to me that Mikolev made contact with, it's a back marker, it was the drivers further back. Can't really tell on how to make up the situation, but I believe based on the, it looks like there was a bit of a jostling between the Regloss drivers and Isakaji Mikolev. Oh, here is Shango just struggling to get his car. Continuing on the track as the Regloss cars continue to play catch up to the rest of the field. While the established Hololive GT3 drivers continue to show up here. Joshua Sahi is actually not gaining a lot of time. He's actually lost a bit to Ryu on that previous lap. Meanwhile, we got Daniel Barger now up in 5th place. A tremendous start sees him currently potentially challenging for the podium. His last win, of course, came in Buriram in the 2023 season. He's gonna look for his second win in Hololive GT3. And funny how he's currently in contention to win his second Hololive GT3 race, despite, so we say, flat out preferring the bright uniforms in recent times. And of course, Daniel Barger has a championship that he might just be able to fight in the CO Cup finale like next week in Twin Ring Motegi, but he is an absolute long shot to win it. Meanwhile, Mamashaki Reza has made the pass on Danilo Goyena for 12th place. The hot shot Echo is currently flying his straight, of course, against the drivers in aero competitions. But still, our point is still clear. As you can see, the difference in pace between these drivers are actually pretty okay. But Masarida has now lost a good amount of time. Not sure if there's damage seen in the cars. Or when that is actually Daniel Barger looking for a move against Nakamura, who's now lost a good amount of time to the leaders. So anyways, let's take a look into the fuel loads on these cars. Who's going to be early and who's going to hit late. And here's the crazy part. Both the Koyokuro Honda cars are going to be using the same strategy. They will be hitting it around lap 37 and 38. Meanwhile, you got Team Nissan currently up there in 3rd place. And Thailand's going to match their strategies. And then we have Ari Nakamura, who will be pitting much earlier with a lighter car, but she doesn't have the pace to warrant it. Hoshi Sonoria has passed Danilo Goyena, who continues to free fall down into the bottom of the table. Well, the bottom of the standings, that is. And you can see here Vasco Demachek wants to go long as well as Joey. Jay Goodwin's going to pit in the middle of the race. As well as Maverick Duciem, Mohamed Cashew is going to pit very early for the overcut strategy. Well, you can see here, compared to last time, the air temperatures are actually much colder, or it's only 1 degree Celsius colder than yesterday. But the track temperatures are still at 11 degrees. So out of the regular Hololive GT3 cars who are based on the original idle uniforms, there are like 15 cars remaining, with the additional 2 coming in from Regloss. Daniel Barger continuing to find ways to get close to Nakamura, but to no avail. He does have a straight line speed that he could use, but he's just too far behind to make any meaningful attack on Nakamura. So Daniel Barger is the second best Nissan currently in the field. Tyler Williams is looking for a way to get himself closer and closer to the leading Honda pair. And here's the thing, Russian Gracia managed to convert pole into a race win. Meanwhile, we're looking at Joshua Sahi and Wheelie, who's currently in the back straight about 0.7 of a second behind each other. Meanwhile, Tyler Williams is about 1.5 tenths behind. What we meant about the Hondas having superior cornering grip, while also having a decent amount of straight line speed that could just about match Nissan's. But these cars are harder to control, so if they lose control, then it's not going to be a surprise. Struggle on that final corner, but he should be able to claw that gap immediately in the main straight. As you can see, Tyler Williams has a 1.36, really a 1.23.0. Joshua Sahi manages to respond with a 1.22.879. sure if there are any potential battles to watch out here in SUGO. As you can see, the drivers just continuing to provide a lot of racing action for all of us to enjoy. Here's Daniel Vargas is on board, and you can see here the top 5 have now become absolutely spread out. But the battle in around 6 on back is pretty much competitive. Oh, and that's Lorenzo Ricci making his pass on Hoshizono Rio. As Danilo Goyena gets down into 15th place. Lorenzo Ricci continuing to now showing up in the Hoshimori number 6. Oh, that's Danilo Goyena going off wide, and he's being spun. Is he able to catch the car? And yes, he's able to get the car back in the race. Joshua Sai sets the fastest lap in the SUGO 500 Split B race. He spun around. He got spun around, or rather, he spun around, going wide at the exit of SP out, nearly collecting Shango. But that would mean Shango is currently in the points. A lot of regloss graphics are still essentially a work in progress, so well, I can argue that some parts are complete. I can say that some of these parts are still a work in progress. Meanwhile, we got Raj Kaczynski and Muhammad Kashu trading blows between each other as now Kaczynski now gets into the top 10. Only 3 Nissans in the top 10. With the only other Nissan being Muhammad Shakir Reza. This is, of course, following Minato Aquaz's graduation from Hololive, which reduced the available amount of Nissans from 12 to 11. So Nissan are currently the only manufacturer in the Big 3 to run an odd amount of entries in Hololive GT3 for 24-25. This is following Aquaz's graduation. So anyways, we got like 33 of the members still running the original uniforms, plus 5 more in regloss. So now you mix them and then you split them into 2 splits for qualifying for the CO series. Meanwhile, we still get to see some potentially tight battles here now between Ryu and Joshua Asahi. Currently, the Koyo Club battle is in favor of Koyori, as Joshua Asahi just continues to channel his inner Joshu energy. As you can see here, releases on board. Probably tells you all you need to know. Kyle Williams and Ari Nakamura also on a sparring battle between each other. As far as strategy is concerned, Kyle Williams is going to go longer. Meanwhile, we got Daniel Barker who's also going to go short. He's going to try the 2-stop strategy that the other Nissans have tried in the previous race. Oh, here comes a move there by Joey. Possibly he now goes down the inside of Lhasa Damasham. Damasham actually struggled on the exit of that corner. So you can see Joey now makes just about light work of Damashnev. And Jake Goodwin sniffing for an opportunity, but not before. Maverick Duciem manages to find a gap and went for it. Against Jake Goodwin, Joey is now up into 6th. Duciem is now up into 8th. So more Nissans are currently trying to get themselves further forward. Of course, we still have a long way to go here in the race here in Sportsland SUGO, the SUGO 500, as now Duciem is going to try to make light work of Plaza Dabashev now down the inside. Jake Goodwin now trying to defend against Raji Kaczynski further back. Kaczynski looking for something against Goodwin. And also there's Vlasa Damasev also struggling to get out of that corner. That could be 3 wide. But you can see Raji Kaczynski has to fall back as Jake Goodwin is going to try to attack now. Damasev 4th position. And it's now Jake Goodwin now up in 8th place. Great racing here, especially coming into the final corner. And now you can see Raji Kaczynski now trying to dispatch Damasev. 2 fellow Lexus cars. 2 fellow VTubers with cerebral memories. Now you can see Damasev now getting up into 9th place once again, or after a good amount of defense against Kaczynski. Meanwhile, the top 4 are on the league of their own. Joshua Asahi, Ryu Tal Williams, and Ira Nakamura. Skeji McKillop, you can see here, he's not enjoying this moment. And speaking of Sean Go, who absolutely lost a lot of time, not sure what has happened there. It looks to me like he has already made his first pit stop. Yeah, he's made his first pit stop, if I'm not mistaken, Sean Go. Just wanted to check. Yeah, it looks to me that, oh dear. Let me just see what happened to Sean Go. So yeah, Shongo actually went into the pits there. He actually went first. So he's gonna go for an extreme undercut strategy. So this will mean that, yeah, he is currently fueled right until the end. And he is gonna go for a very bold strategy at that. So he's gonna make a pit stop very early in the race. And just hope that his consistency should be able to deliver him the results. Meanwhile, the top 3 have not congregated between each other, as we have Joshua Asahi currently leading this pack. Ryu is in 2nd, and then we have the likes of Kyle Williams in 3rd and Ira Nakamura 4th, also trying to catch up. Meanwhile, leading the best of the rest here is Daniel Barger, who's currently trying to bend off against Joey. Got still over a 2nd, but it's not going to be comfortable soon. So, potentially, Daniel Barger needs to pick up the pace. Oh, and that's Tyler Williams there. You saw the onboard from Aaron Nakamura's POV. You saw Tyler Williams actually now breaking up the Koyo-Klo combination. See how it looks for Tyler Williams as he's now going to get himself back at Joshua Asahi to bring control of this race back in his hands. Sporting the new blue camo helmet with the rose on the front, wings on the side, the logo somewhere. And now Tyler Williams wants to make his stake his claim to the race lead. Also a fun fact here, Masa Rider also at the back of the field. I'm not sure if he has already made his pit stop or not, but looking into his estimated lap, he is not good enough. He's not good to finish the race as it stands right now. well, as we're taking a look at the Tyler Williams now, who's now closed up the gap once again, but the gap continuing to ebb and flow. The Koyaklo battle has been broken up, and well, fortunately, if you are part of the assistance, well, you're still enjoying it. But if you're part of the Shiiku, the ones that raise Sakamata Chloe, then you have some reasons to be worried, because Nakamura is right behind Ryu. And let's see how Tyler Williams can work his magic in that final corner. The gap is currently at about 7/10 of a second, and even if he does manage to claw himself back into like 3/10 or 2/10, it's still not going to be enough for him to get close enough to make an overtake. You can see here, looking into his mini sectors, he's doing pretty okay at the moment. Well, yes, 2 quick mini sectors. However, we'll have to see how he manages to continue developing in this race. As Maverick UCM now gets up into 6th place, making his overtake against Joey. Down the inside is turn 1 using the superior straight line speed of the Nissan, the VR38 DETT engine. Truly a powerful engine to have in Hololive GT3. And looking at the start line things, the Nissan don't seem to have any problems as they don't start on the front row. And even if they do start on the front row, they have managed to actually coordinate themselves to a win. So again, it was nice to see Russell Croshaw also getting Nissan's first win in since March, actually. And looking into the records here, Joshua Sahi and Haku Ikari is going to be set to win their first Hololive GT3 races, both for driver and talent, and it will be Honda's 26th win in Hololive GT3 period. Russell Kurash's last win, which is literally yesterday, was Nissan's 16th win. Now, and here's another fun fact: coming to the 2023 season, Nissan were at 12, Lexus were at 18, and Honda were at 17. So as we mentioned before, in between the 23 and 24 seasons, not the 24-25 seasons, Nissan have only won 3 of the last, highlighted, 24 races. So they are only able to win 1 race, can only win 1 out of 8 races. So it was a bad set of data, but of course, Nissan now with a renewed vigor on their cars, they're gonna see if they could bolster their positions on the top side of the standings here. I mean, if 9 Honda NSX drivers could qualify for the SUGO series last time out, what's to say that they could bring, like at the very least, all the Nissans, as Kaczynski has now made his move against Vlasic Damasha for 9th place. So the target lap for which we may start to see pit lane activity, well, the actual scheduled ones outside of Shango and potentially Masaraido, will be in lap 50, or rather lap 25 or 26. Went wide, that's going to open the door for the Mashnev and Cashew. Make a move. Shakir Reza is also just rubbing his hands at these Lexus cars, waiting to be overtaken. But of course, he is sandwiched between 2 other Lexus cars, so now Shakir Reza is lining up for a move against Cashew and Damashnev. He's actually very, very close. They're only about 4/10 of a second. So this is the part where Shakir Reza is able to use that straight line speed. But is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Remember, just a fun fact about Shango, he is not going to pit anymore in this race unless he wants to change tires. And so right now, Go is currently just chilling in the back of the field, just hoping that his undercut strategy, his extreme undercut strategy, and him just going along early on until the end of the race is going to help him. Meanwhile, Roger Kaczynski has now just set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:22.405 as he now goes off. He's now pulled away against Dabashka, against Cashew. Shakareza continues to struggle to overtake. Meanwhile, Hoshizuna Ria and Wanza Richie trade places. As you can see here now with Tyler Williams still catching up onto Joshua Asahi. The gap between two, 1 second. But we still have yet to cross the halfway stage of this race. That would be at lap 34. And now you can see here the Nissan's still trying to find answers, but he should be able to claw the gap back in that start-finish line. You can see here at the radar non how much the Nissans have been able to close in. Meanwhile, potential battles afoot with Momashaki Vreza. Try to catch up the Nissans, but watch out for Lorenzo Ricci and Hoshizuna Rio once again. They're going to trade positions once again. You can see here, Ricci just continues to struggle. Got close there to Hoshizuna Rio, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, he gets shuffled off. And into the curves they go. Is going to go at it again onto these Lexus cars. The gap is still pretty much similar. Wama Cashew does have slipstream advantage. He's getting close, but not close enough, unfortunately. So right now, based on the track map, we are seeing two distinct battle packs forming. Daniel Barger leading this pack that is currently also comprised of, like I said, Maverick DCM, Joey, Jake Goodwin, and Raji Kaczynski. Oh, Jake Goodwin has a poor run off of that final quarter, and now Kaczynski is going to try to take advantage. And down the inside goes Kaczynski as very great stuff there from Kaczynski with 20 laps complete. Everyone's at lap 21 except Maseraido and Sean Go. You can see here how much these two are pushing each other. You can see Tyler Williams is actually slowly but surely getting himself much closer to Joshua Asahi this time. He's having a very good lap this time by. You know, Joshua Asahi has not been seeing any improvements. So let's take a look into the onboards, see if we can check about the tire status here. You see Joshua Asahi's his tires just now are into the low, coming into the low grip ones, so he is going to be pretty imperative that Joshua Asahi is going to need to pit soon. As you can see here, Tyler Williams is now getting very close there to the likes of Tyler Williams just continuing to pile on the pressure on Joshu. As Raji Kaczynski now has dispatched Joey. He is currently one of the best, he's currently the best Lexus car currently in the field, and he wants to carve out a chance for the Lexus Brigade. All Tyler Williams needs is a great exit from especially the middle corner and the final corner, and this is the impetus he needs to take the lead away. His last win came in Okayama 9 months ago, and now he's going to make his intentions absolutely clear. He goes down the inside, but there's no space, so he has to back off. He's gonna live to fight another day here, this guy. As the gaps continue to close down, Tyler Williams is gonna go at it at the final corner once again. Looks for that late apex. He should be able to carry a good amount of speed. He is getting closer on that main straight. He's currently on his optimal range of speed, as he's now probably going to go down the inside. He is going to go down the inside. Will he go alongside into turn 1? The answer is going to be yes, as Tyler Williams dispatches Joshua Asahi for the race lead. To see Tyler Williams now in the Nissan continues to show what he's got. This is here. Williams continues to get himself up there. Meanwhile, Maverick DCM has also made the move on Daniel Barger. It looks to me that it happened right into turn 1. As you also get to see the battle between Williams and Asahi also take place. Daniel Goyena has also overtaken Sean Go for position, as he has now also made his pit stop. So looking into this is what we mentioned here. This is the part of the race where pit stop cycles have now absolutely started. So we have some very, very interesting set of circumstances right here in Sportsland SUGO. We have Joshua Asahi still not giving up though, although the gap is now opened up to about 1.79 seconds between both the Kanata and Koyori drivers. You can see here, just wanted to check into the fuel loads and the estimated amount of laps here. Tyler Williams is actually going to pit slightly later than Joshua Asahi and Ri Liu. So maybe the difference in lap time or even the pit stop duration is going to be key on who's going to come ahead. As you can see, the top 4 have now congregated between each other once again. Although the leader is currently now just about over 2 seconds ahead, or about almost going to be 2 seconds ahead. But yeah, you can see here the Chloe rivalry is currently in full swing. As you can see, the Chloe driver of Ri Liu is still trying to find a way past Joshua Asahi. Ooh, this is going to be a very, very interesting to look at, especially given how potential pit stops may go. Oh, Maverick DCM sets the fastest lap outright with 1:22.332. We could see an upset victory if DCM can play his cards right. If you look into his field, he is pretty light out right now. We'll see if he's going to make a 2-stopper compared to the rest of the field. And looking into DCM's run of field, he actually has a much lower amount of fuel than the cars running in the top 4. So, oosh, this is going to be very, very interesting. This is going to be something to look out for as and right now he is going to try to defend like a rabid coyote. As Hoshizono Ryo has made his pit stop as well. He will go run this next thing until the end of the race. So Hoshizono Ryo is going to be leading the pack of cars. Daniel Goyena is now caught up to Sean Go. Meanwhile, Joshua Asahi continues to maintain at least 2nd place. He did score that pole position, which is, again, a nice thing to see. So, just wanted to remind everyone about the circumstances surrounding Joshua Asahi's pole. Asahi's pole is actually Honda's 19th. Honda's 19th in the series since the start of the season in 2022. But as you can see here, Cashew currently has also made his pit stop as he's currently having his car serviced. Here's Hoshizono Ryo though. This is his closest rival. Looking into the mini-map. Yes, Mama Cashew has already made his move. Danilo Goyena is also going to be eyeing for an overtake against Shango. Oh, you can see here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can see how much Shango was struggling on the final corner there. And that's going to open the door, I think, to Goyena. Who might just be able to make a move down the inside. But I think Goyena's just too far. Oh, and that's Shango going wide. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Shango is currently wrestling the car, who is currently not cooperating with him. Oh, you can see here how much he's slipping and sliding on those tires. So you can see here that they just couldn't go down as setup issues for the defending Zaku Series champion. Meanwhile, Joshua Asahi continues to vehemently defend his second place. He knows he's lost the pole position right now, but he's just hoping that with Tyler Williams being, if he makes a two-stop strategy, then Joshua Asahi's chances on winning is still very much real. Lap 27 of 68. We haven't yet to reach the halfway stage here in Sportsland SUGO. And there is no telling what's gonna happen next. You can see here Jake Goodwin currently also trying to find a way past Joey. And Hoshizono Ryo and Mama Cashew have now traded places between each other, between the drivers who have made their pit stops already. And Ryo is currently on the charge. Meanwhile, as the battles continue on, Goyena has now pulled away against Shango. The first cars that are going to go lap down are going to be shown. Mamashaki Vreza has now set the fastest lap of the race with a 122.237. This is despite having a battered car from his battle with Danilo Goyena. Shaki Vreza wanting to make his own legacy, especially after his brother has won the 2024 All Individual Japan Series title by winning the CO Series. He's not currently the only Reza member in aero competitions. And right now he's just gonna try to get up there. You can see the gap between Williams and the second place driver of Asahi. They've now absolutely opened it up to around 4.4 seconds. And right now there are no signs of these drivers making a pit stop. DuCM is going to pit soon. Shaki Vreza is actually going to be running very, very long in this race, so he might actually be a dark horse contention for this win. Shaki Vreza now sets the fastest lap outright here with a 122.211 once again. You saw how much he's been gaining. Speaking of Raji Kaczynski and Jake Goodwin now make their way into the pit stops. As Masa Raido, who have already made his pit stop, he's going to absolutely clear them for now. So we're looking at Hoshizono Ryo and Mama Cashew, who's now currently at the final corner. Both Kaczynski and Goodwin have already made their way out. So that will be their pit stop cycles done. But for the leaders, they are going for the overcut strategy, which is going to be very interesting because they saw how good the overcut was in trying to make sure you spend less time in the pits. But of course, you will be sacrificing some time on the track. Kaczynski is now currently up in 12th place. Goodwin currently 13th. Meanwhile, got Daniel Barger now and Maverick DCM coming into the pit. We'll have to check their fuel loads to see how it goes as Shakir Reza continues to bang fast laps after fast laps. It looks to me that these two drivers are going to be pretty iffy on fuel. We'll see if they're able to run this race until the end with this strategy, as they will want to try to minimize their time in the pit lane. There's Raja Kaczynski now coming into the main straight. Duciem and Barger are now out. Duciem and Barger is the current running order as it stands here. And it looks to me that the two Nissans are going to be ahead of Raja Kaczynski. And there is confirmation. Lorenzo Ricci will be behind Raja Kaczynski, but he will just be barely ahead of Jay Goodwin, as we might be able to see. Oh, and they might actually go side by side. That is if Goodwin has the right idea. And Lorenzo Ricci manages to keep his car ahead of Jay Goodwin. Maserito is now up in 7th place, but he will not be pitting until at the latest lap 53. So this is also going to be an interesting sight to see, as just wanted to hear that as a good sound on that BMW. So it's a nice sounding car too. So yeah, it's a nice car that's driven by Maserito, currently in that number 82. Shakir Reza now trying to pile on pressure on Plaza Damashev, as he now is the fastest car out on track. He is gonna try to make things work. He probably wants to go down the inside. He might go down the inside. He's just too far back, unfortunately, as Duciem now has made the move on Irene Nakamura, who now made her pit stop. Oh my, Duciem and Barger are potentially in a battle for the race win. So right now it's still an open race out of anyone so far. Here comes Shakir Reza against Laza Damashev. The gap is only at about, it's only at around under half a second. So Shakir Reza has the opportunity to make a move down the inside against Damashev, but Damashev manages to keep himself ahead, but he goes wide, and that might actually open the door for Shakir Reza, but Damashev actually manages to keep himself ahead of Shakir Reza. So Shakir Reza will have to go at it again. 8 laps of field to go for both Joshua Sahi and Ri Liu. For Tyler Williams, he has about 10 laps of field as he now gets into the lap car of Sean Go. Sean Go having already made his pit stop very early in the race. He is going to try to hang it around until the end. So potentially, realistically, he should not be blocking Tyler Williams. He should immediately move out of the way. But if he does cause a bit of trouble, that should open the door to a potential. Oh, and that's going to cause Williams a lot of trouble as he actually cut down the inside of Tyler Williams there. But Tyler Williams now having the straight line speed, he is going to clear Sean Go immediately after that. See here, Chongo just continuing to struggle in this race, continuing to understeer into the outside runoff as Ri Liu now makes his move. Joshua Sahi is now inside the pits. So this is going to be interesting, and also we want to see the extent of Mikolev's damages, and oh my goodness, that's a damaged Honda NSX. And now his close battles are going to be between himself and Nakamura and Daniel Barger and Ducien. So we'll see if Joshu is able to get himself out ahead, and I think he should be able to get himself out ahead. But crucially, he needs to also be ahead of Masaraido. As you can see, Joshua Asahi managing to exit in 6th place. He is currently your net race leader. Your gross race leader is going to be Tyler Williams, as there are still 5 drivers who have yet to make their pit stops. And these drivers are going to go long for sure. As you can see, Damashi and Shakib Reza are going to go at it. Shakib Reza forces Damashi to go out wide, essentially spooking him into going off wide. And Shakib Reza is now up into 4th place. And remember, he is going to be the latest driver to pit. And if he can play his cards absolutely superbly, because he's currently ahead of by 32 seconds over Joshua Asahi, Shakib Reza might actually have a chance to score his best ever finish in Hololive GT3 in 3rd place, or maybe even score better. Just want to remind everyone, Shakib Reza's best finish in Hololive GT3, to my knowledge, is him finishing in 2nd place in Suzuka. But he has managed to, I believe, match it in this season as well, with him actually scoring a podium in Fuji, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, Shakib Reza did score a podium in Fuji basically earlier this year, which essentially brought him back onto the podium for the first time since the 2022 Fuji Summer Race, which is essentially the Suzuka Short Race, Suzuka East Race, yeah. But anyways, Master Ducien has now cleared Masaraido, who have yet to make his pit stop. Ayu Nakamura is going to follow in his Ducien's footsteps as well. And Tyler Williams will now make his pit stop. His closest rival is now Joshua Asahi, who's now 50 seconds behind. So this one is going to be something interesting to look at, especially given how Tyler Williams is going to fuel his car. He is going to be good until the end of this race. Joshua Asahi will be good until the end of this race. Is the gap going to be insurmountable for Joshua Asahi? Or at the very least, will the gap be able to be close? And with Joshua's warmer tires potentially coming into effect, will it actually be in Joshua's favor? As you can see here, Tyler Williams finally gets out with a very quick pit stop. Joshua Asahi just has no response on that run by Tyler Williams, as he now finally gets himself back onto the track. And you can see here he is now actually ahead of Ryu and Joshua Asahi. I keep forgetting that Ryu has actually made his pit stop first, and actually Joshua Asahi has now been overtaken by Ryu on the pit stop strategy. So apologies if I missed that point, but the point still remains. But you can see Joshua Asahi is going to be on a man on a mission. He is getting very, very close there onto Ryu. He might think of a move down the inside. He is going to think of a move down the inside. He is going to retake 2nd place. He is going to commit into the corner, forces Ryu off, and that will be Joshua Asahi currently in 2nd place. Unfortunately for him, the gap between himself and Tyler Williams is now currently set at 12 seconds. But right now, there are currently bigger things to look into, as Shakib Reza currently runs in 4th place, and he's now coming into turns 1 and 2, and he is now currently in the pits. So at this point, we might see him actually think of overtaking the likes of Ducien, Masaraido, and maybe Nakamura. But he should be ahead of Daniel Barga. As you can see, there's potential battles even more. As you can see here, Ricci is going to go down the inside of Ryan Kaczynski. They are now alongside on the main straight. Hoshi's Rio is going to join in on the fun as well, as Kaczynski is going to go off wide. It's now a choice. It's now a matter of choice between racing lines, and it's going to be Lorenzo Ricci up in 11, Kaczynski 12. Fujisawa Rio 13th. Chacareza has managed to get himself out, and he now just exits behind his fellow Nepolabo teammate Maverick Duciem. This is going to be an interesting sight to see on how these drivers are going to be racing their way. Chacareza having fresher tires than Duciem and Ryu and Joshua Asahi, so Chacareza is going to be in a massive shout to actually get up there and score a good amount of points. Joey and Vlasa Domashev are at just about equal strategies here. They will be running very late into this race. They will have to pit, they will be pitting around maybe lap 47, 48, 49, and 50, and then they will have the freshest tires at the final stages. But they need to make those things count and not lose a lot of time. Comes Raji Kaczynski now down the inside of Lorenzo Ricci. Kaczynski continuing to show his mettle for Yusuke Choko despite not winning a race since 2022. Lots of drivers have not won in Hololive GT3 since 2022. I'm thinking of let's say Raji Kaczynski, Hofumi, Lorenzo Ricci, who have won for Shishiro Botan when he was or rather, not exactly when he was an Ocean Marine driver, but when he was a driver for another VTuber, I can't remember which one, in 2022. But you can see here, oh, we got possibly another overtake here. As you can see here, Vlasa Domashev has taken the lead away from Joey. With them pitting sometime soon, we might see them be exit back into the racetrack just ahead of Nakamura and behind Masaraido. Oh, this is going to be some interesting sights here as Domashev is currently ahead of Joey. Ooh, still something to look out as Nakamura and Masaraido are now going to go toe-to-toe between each other into turn 1. Raido has no response onto Nakamura's great exit. And just about covers her line for good measure. You can see Joey just has no response on the Mashnev. And Tyler Williams on a league of his own. He's currently 16 seconds, around 14 seconds ahead of Joshua Asahi, who's currently running in second. To get a popular podium for Hakui Koiri. Here's another pack race that we might want to take a look at Rajinsky now trying to find an alternative line against Barger, but just couldn't find any. And now Hoshizuna Rio is going to be swooping in on the opportunity. Down the inside goes Rio once again onto Kaczynski, and it's going to be Rio now back up into 11th. We are now 38 laps complete here in Fuji. We're already past the halfway stage. We still have the second half of the race to deal with, as you can see here. 39 laps complete now with Vlasa Domashev already crossing the line. Joey has now finally come into the pits. He will have a pretty lengthy service. So he is going to exit possibly in the mid-pack. So here's Daniel Barger as reference. Joey's still not out as Kyle Williams now gets into second. He will take his race lead once again once Domashnev finally makes his pit stop. And Joey now finally gets out ahead of Irene Nakamura. Into the racing line he goes. But Nakamura's going to go down the inside. And makes the move. Very great stuff there from Nakamura to actually beat Joey as she now is in 7th place. Nachama cooking, continuing to field Nakamura as she continues to find herself back into the top 5. Duciem is now making his move against Liu for 4th place. This will be a potential for 3rd place. He wants to try to deny Honda of a great podium run as the Nissans continue to showcase their strength here in Sportsland SUGO. Damasha just doesn't have long before he will be making his pit stop. So you can see here his tires are being absolutely shot. But if he does pit right now and he doesn't lose a lot of time, as we've seen before, he is going to be in serious position to essentially well, I'll say that usually, but he is going to be in a serious position to get a good result. He should get a maybe 7th or 8th when he exits the pit lane. Of course, this doesn't take into account Daniel Barger having to make another pit stop, because based on the estimated field, he will not make it until the end. Same goes for Maverick Duciem. And now Duciem is gonna go make his move against Joshua Asahi. But of course, Joshua Asahi should just let him go at this rate. As now these two drivers are gonna go side by side, SB in and out. They have to be very, very careful to not make contact between each other. And now we have Maverick Duciem back into 3rd place. He's currently on a charge right now. But remember this one note, he has to make another pit stop. Unlike Tyler Williams, who is good good for the rest of the race. As Vasa Damasha finally comes into the pits, he should just be ahead of possibly Irene Nakamura, possibly Joey, possibly Masaraido and Daniel Barger. Joey now exits, or rather Domashev exits in 5th place actually, and this is what we mentioned. But of course Shakir Reza has a warmer tire, so Shakir Reza is going to have to make this count. So Tyler Williams now has a pretty sizable gap to the rest of the field, 20 seconds over Maverick Duciem, who will be pitting, so he will be 22 seconds over Joshua Asahi. And now Vlasa Domashnev now under pressure from Mohammad Shakir Reza, who is now closing in at a rate or not, but will it be enough? Will he be thinking of a move down the inside? Yes, Shakir Reza will be thinking of a move down the inside of Vladislav Domashnev. He will now try to get himself into 4th place. He forces Domashnev off wide. And now Shakir Reza is in the top 5. And remember, with Duciem coming into pit later on, he should be in for possibly 4th or 3rd place. And if he can score 2nd, or maybe a race win, taken from Tyler Williams' nose, then Shakir Reza is gonna make history. Or rather, not exactly make history, but he will put his name in the history book as a Hololive GT3 race winner. Kyle Williams currently in the lead of the race. Maverick Duciem currently 2nd. Joshua Asahi 3rd. Liu 4th. Mohammad Shakir Reza is in 5th. With Damasha 6th, we have Roji's on the Rio Raj Kaczynski trading blows between each other once again. As you can see, Rio is now up into 11th place. Masaraido is doing very well to stay where he is, where he will be making his good result soon. He is the last driver to make his who have yet to make his pit stop. And you can see here Shango just struggling a lot on his car right now. You can see the difference in pace. And he's going to be lapped the second time. Or rather, he will be lapped by Kyle Williams. Oh, he's gone off wide again! I'm not sure what's happened to his car, but he's currently suffering from huge, severe car issues, which now puts him a lap down to Kyle Williams, and that wasn't really a troubling. Check on the telemetry to see if there's any issues at all. You can see here how much he's slipping and sliding on the Aston Martin. The car's not gone to goal right now as he's currently down in 17th. Meanwhile, Kyle Williams continues to flex on the field with an 18-second gap now to Joshua Zahi with no other cars in sight. So he should be good for the rest of this race in the race lead. Ducien will have to pit again. Joshua Zahi will be winning this battle between the Koyo Klo cars. Shakib Reza, on the other hand, is going to be vying for any chance that he's going to be able to find. Remember, with Ducien more than likely coming into pit once again, Shakib Reza will be in 4th place. At the same time, I'm just going to report on the standings. That should be the confirmed results so far. Pending any serious issues, Tyler Williams should be in a very comfortable position to win. As you can see here, Shakir Reza is eyeing for possibly his best ever finish in aero competition in the 2nd place. He knows that catching Tyler Williams is going to be nigh on impossible. Williams currently on the hunt for his first win since February, back in the Okayama 400. Race in the Hololive GT3 qualifiers last season. Tongo will more than likely finish 17th given his issues with the car. Well, you see here how much he's actually close back onto the 2 Hondas here. You can see here Shakib Reza actually set the 23.922. Leo and Joshua Zahi are only stuck at 24s. Meanwhile, Kyle Williams and Maverick Ducien set 122s. So you can see here the difference in their paces. Shakib Reza might think of a move earlier, or might think of a move against really very much soon. Very, very soon, as you can see how close he is at the moment. Shakib Reza continues to again strike his way into the top 2. You can see here, some potential lap car shenanigans here. That is actually Shango against Maverick Ducien. Shango is just continuing to fight his car. Now trying to defend against Maverick Ducien, is currently running in 2nd. Ducien might just be impatient on how Goal runs his car, but he should be. Oh, and there's contact between the 2 for good measure. And look at how bad the left side has been for Ducien. Whoosh. Looks like there's going to be a special request there for Tyler Williams once he is able to actually win here in Twin Ring in Sportsland SUGO. The gap's now at 17 seconds. There's every chance that the gap is going to drop down now that he is now catching up into Masaraido. And let's just hope that he's just able to maintain his composure in running his car. Well, there's Masaki Freza continuing to absolutely hammer it down against Ryu and Asahi. Now just going to take potential moves between Ryu and Joshua Asahi for Shaki Freza to probably sniff an opportunity. But you can see here, these two cars are very much deadlocked between each other. Currently in a battle of their own. Not exactly in a battle of their own, but right now they're just so evenly matched. You just couldn't, you can't even throw paper on it. I'm not sure that wording is absolutely correct. But you see Shaka Freza is now going to close the gap back onto Ryu. He's going to close in right here at the very least. Duciem is, I believe, one of the fastest drivers out in the field right now, which is on Ryu, and Ryuji Yusinski also being one of them as well. Saying 122s, and oh! That's Shango! He's finally off! Looks like he went off wide, has his car stalled, and that should be his race over. He will finish in 17th place. That's an unfortunate sight to see. He was beset with setup problems throughout the entire race, and he really doesn't want this race to end like this given the circumstances, and he's now currently back into the race here at the very least, but his race is pretty much done. Williams' gap to Asahi still at 29 seconds. Duciem is currently charging with as much as he can, but I think just maybe, if Duciem can stretch his fuel, right until the end, he might just be able to make that one-stop work after all. But he needs to watch the fuel gauge. He needs to watch his amount of fuel. Asahi, Ryu, and Shaki Freza continuing to run on the races on their own. As you can see here, these two cars just no longer have the pace they had at the start of the race. See Ryu actually struggle on that corner before Rainbow. As you can see, Shaka Freza is going to potentially get closer and closer, but you can see Ryu is actually closing in faster into Ryu's gap. But I don't think there might be any battles afoot. Lots of cars in that back street. It just shows you the parity between these drivers have currently. Meanwhile, Tyler Williams already making himself clear against Masaraido, who have, I believe, already made his pit stop. So he will go a lap down to Tyler Williams. So it's not a good day for Regloss, except if you're Joey. Only Saren and Joey are going to come out with points. And speaking of which, Joey's going to go down the inside of Vladislav Domashnev. And I just wanted to highlight this one point here, that Joey's car is prepared by a different team than the usual Lexus cars. As Joey's Lexus car is serviced by Anas Iwata and not by ACC. Bit of a fun fact for everyone here who's watching the stream. Shaka Freza continuing to come closer and closer to Joshua Asahi to no avail. As you can see here, Joshua Asahi now struggles to get a good exit. Shaka Freza also continues to struggle to have a good exit off of Rainbow Corner, coming into the back straight, coming into Horseback. And it's still these two drivers within a stone's throw of each other. That's the right term to use. Kyle Williams is going to be set to have a 30-second win. With how close these cars have been, it's one crash away from results that can change the outcome of the race. We'll have to wait and see. You can see how close these drivers have been. You can see how much the gap has absolutely closed. You can see here that, oh dear me, Shaka Reza is actually still within a second of Joshua Asahi and Ri Liu. Looking at Vlasa Damasha, who is also about 1.3 seconds behind Joshua Asahi, alongside Joey, who is also within 2 seconds. Aaron Nakamura too. The race is still very much open-ended when it comes to the top two. Just a lot of great racing here, as you can see. Shaka Reza again struggles at Rainbow Corner as the two Koyo Cloak cars continue to battle it out, even though it is still pretty much a stalemate. Not racing action. This is still racing action, but we want overtaking action. Yeah, true. So if you have any thoughts in the live chat, if you have any thoughts, please drop your comments in the live chat. I'll be reading your comments as much as I can. Here's Rilio now trying to find a way past Joshua Asahi once again. But here's the thing, Joshua Asahi is not separated out of anyone so far. And Shango is off the track once again. But I think his tires are now in the gravel and he's struggling to get out. And I think that's going to be him out. Trying to get himself out again. He will try, but his tires are in the gravel track, which may cause him some trouble. Speaking with Shaki Reza now, not finding anything against really Joshua Asahi, who is still pretty much a cut above Shaki Reza. Shaki Reza is going to again try a good exit, but he just can't find it. Continues to get close, but there's no answer. Tyler Williams continues to pull away with a possibly dominant win. Traction and essentially grip for him to be able to carry a lot of speed on that final corner. He should be able to find something against Rilio. Meanwhile, Joey is looking for something against Vlasa Domashnev. As you can see here, oh, Shaka Reza gets close. Here's Joey trying to make a move down the inside of Domashnev. Oh, throwing himself at it. Dive might just be on the cards, but sometimes you fear that it may be too late for him to make such moves. Anyway, Joey's now up into 6th place. 52 laps complete here in Sportsland SUGO for the SUGO 500 Split B race. Kyle Williams just having a very, very comfortable race right now. And as for the rest of the field, from 3rd to possibly 15th, the gaps between them are only around 16 seconds. Again, it's a great amount of parity you'll be seeing here in Sportsland SUGO. Shaki Reza again gets closer and closer to Rilio, but I think it's the closest he's ever been. He's gonna go down the inside of Rilio. He's gonna make 3rd place his. And down the inside goes Shaki Reza into 3rd place, and now his eyes are set on Joshua Asahi. Meanwhile, there's Joey also looking for his 4th place. Remember, Maverick UCM and Daniel Barger are going to be set to make, possibly going to be making their pit stops again if they're not able to control their fuel flow and their fuel and the amount of fuel that they have. Looking at UCM right now, he only has about 11 laps of fuel to go, so he will be pitting at their latest lap 65, as well as Daniel Barger. Shakir Reza now up into the net podium positions. Remember, Maverick UCM and Daniel Barger have yet to are going to be pitting again soon. Miscalculation of the fuel loads, it seems, between the 42 drivers, between them and the pit crew and the race engineers. So they're going to have a massive talk about it. Speaking of which, Shakir Reza is going to make his move, is going to stake his claim into essentially away him for him back into 3rd place, at least currently in the table, and that will be in that 2nd. It will be his best ever finish in Hololive GT3. He's already won in Formula Hololive 3 times for Momosu Tsunene. He wants to make it this his first win for Momosu Tsunene, but of course Tyler Williams is currently the issue. Daniel Barger has made his move against Ari Nakamura for 8th place, but he will have to bid again. Here's Williams currently up in... Williams currently up in the lead right now. Barger up in 8th. Cashew's now up in 13th place. Shango has officially retired, with Masarida being the only driver outside the points who's still running in this race. He now currently sets a personal best, though, which is interesting to see. Why only now that he's able to finally make his mark. Cashew currently leading this pack. So between 12th place and 3rd place, the gap between them is around 7 seconds. But you can see here how much Shakir Reza is going to be able to challenge Joshua Asahi for that 2nd place spot. Joshua Asahi is going to try his best to essentially maintain his spot up top as Rio now makes his move against Ari Nakamura. This time, there's also Raji Kaczynski trying to defend against Lorenzo Ricci. And you can see here, yes, Raji Kaczynski making his move down the inside at the hairpin against Nakamura. As Williams continue to rage uninterrupted. Lap 57 of 68. We are now coming into 10 laps to go. So it's still very much an open race as we have seen. Shakir Reza just continuing to find his way into Joshua Asahi, but right now he's just struggling to. Ryu is currently still under pressure. He is going to be overtaken by Joey. We're still green here in Sportsland SUGO with really not much to report other than Lorenzo Ricci already making his move on Ari Nakamura. That just happened recently into turn 1 if I'm not mistaken. Tyler Williams will cross the line once again. He will start lap 58. So it's still pretty much a race up for grabs for anyone so far who's running in around third or lower. Shakib Reza continuing to actually, or rather it's forefront back. Shakib Reza has now pulled away against Liu, but still has no answer against Joshua Asahi. Continues banging sub-22s. The other drivers who are able to set sub-22s are currently Maverick Duciem and Tyler Williams. Duciem is going to try to at least challenge for the podium, or maybe the top 5, even if he does have to make a second pit stop. Daniel Barker is currently running in 8th, which he will lose a lot of time and potentially a points-gain position. Lap 59 has just started, and Tyler Williams is still in control of this race. I'm not going to jinx any further. But anywho, just wanted to check on the other situations here between the other drivers. Right now, Shakib Reza continues to... Actually, he might just have an answer. If he can set faster lap times than Joshua Asahi this lap, he might just have a chance to challenge Asahi for second place. And you can see here, Shakib Reza has now actually pulled the gaps back to Asahi. The gaps are now at 2 seconds. Asahi's now going to have to probably think about attacking. But you can see here the gaps absolutely dropped down. Joshua Asahi has actually lost a good amount of time there on that first few sections of corners. Shakib Reza, what a race he has at the moment. Just very much a great run so far. And looking into where he started way back in 14th. He's now potentially in a position where he can score a possibly third place or second place. And it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's something to be amazed. Shakib Reza. Tyler Williams is going to set to have a dominant win in this SUGO 500 Split B race. As you can see here, Shakib Reza is still going to pile on the pressure onto Asahi. The gap's dropped down to 1.8 seconds. It's still up for grabs here for the battle for second place. That is, if Duciem is able to get ahead of both of them, then that will be a different story. Yesterday was not a good day for Nepalabo. Alex Grant finished outside the top 10 and Kamen Ripper retired. But it's a great day for Split B as Duciem and Shakib Reza are currently in the serious position to contest for the podium positions. As you can see, the gaps now absolutely dropped down to 1.3 seconds in just a single section of racetrack. On that first part alone, first corners 1, 2, 3, and the hairpin, Shakib Reza managed to find half a second onto Joshua Asahi. So Joshua is going to have to be absolutely concerned. And now you can see Shakib Reza is absolutely piling on the pressure. Oh man, this is going to be so interesting sights. Very, very interesting sights here. As you can see, Shakib Reza continues to pull gaps back to Asahi. We're going to see where Asahi makes his mistake. And as you can see here, coming into the start-finish line, the gaps are now at 6 tenths of a second. And let's see where Asahi is going to lose a lot of time. Oh, he lost a lot of time in the first 2 sectors. He's also making second guesses at the exit of turn 2. And that will push Shakib Reza back into the equation for the battle for second. That is if Duciem can hang on for a bit longer here. Looking into Duciem, he is at a serious. He is going to have to make a pit stop here. He doesn't have enough fuel to finish this race. Same goes for Daniel Barger. Shakib Reza, a man on a mission. He will be looking for his Momo Suzume and the Nekos' best finish in Hololive GT3, trying to find his own legacy against his brother on his brother's shadow. Shakib Reza wants to make his presence known. It's all about the final corner and how these drivers navigate. Shakib Reza is getting absolutely close. The gap's only at around 0.2 of a second. Shakib Reza is going to be taking a move down the outside, but I don't think that's a great move. But it doesn't really matter because he still manages to, at the very least, be in striking range. Shakib Reza is going to absolutely find a way past Joshua Asahi, who has been known to struggle at this very section. All he needs is to get a good exit off either Rainbow or the final corner, and that position can be his. And now into Rainbow corner, and exiting the corner they go. Shakib Reza is very close onto Joshua Asahi. The gap's dropping down by the seconds. As you can see here, Shakib Reza is going to go down the inside. Joshua Asahi manages to close it. He is going to try to bring his max defense for the assistance for Hakui Koyori. Shakib Reza, meanwhile, is going to try to bring home the best result for the Momo Suzume and Nissan. For all the Nekos watching. And this time, Shakib Reza keeps his line tidy. And now he's going to go down the inside at the main straight. He's going to go at it. Shakib Reza is going to make his move for second place. It won't be enough to beat Tyler Williams, but at the very least, Shakib Reza will have something to smile about as he makes his way past Joshua Asahi for second place. And that is if Maverick Duciem manages to exit behind Shakib Reza, because the gap between Duciem and Shakib Reza is at 25 seconds. George Bazadabashev has made his move against Joey for 6th place. Daniel Barger is also going to be on the hunt for positions too, but it may be for not, as he might exit out, as he might make another pit stop. As he will have to make another pit stop, and he will probably exit just at the just almost at the outside of the points. Shakib Reza, what a drive that he has had so far. He is going to make it. He is going to get his second place finish, his best finish in aero competitions, if he can stay there. Daniel Barger has made his move against Joey, but it will be for naught, as he will have to make his pit stop. Maverick Duciem has finally made his move into the pits. And based on the gas that we're seeing, Shakib Reza is going to take second. Joshua Asahi will take third place. Ryu fourth, and then Domashnev fifth. And as you can see here, Duciem is taking a very good amount of time outside of the pit in his pit box. As Duciem finally gets himself out, he will get into possibly P11 or P10, depending on the circumstances. And given the amount of time that he has lost, Daniel Barger is not going to have a good time here. Shakib Reza now up into third place. But also give credit to Tyler Williams, though. He has had an absolutely remarkable drive. Look at the gap that he's had to second place Shakib Reza. 37 seconds. Which is just very, very impressive. But Duciem should have the freshest tires available, with other drivers setting 123.2s. If he can continue to set 122s and maybe 121s, then he's going to be in serious position to absolutely rip it through. And as for Barger, he will have to make his pit stop now. which is going to mean his promising run will now come to an end. As you can see here, Vlasa Damashev is going to go around the outside of Riliu potentially. He might think of a move down the inside against Riliu on a Lexus. So it looks to me that Barger will stay ahead. Oh, there's almost contact between Damashev and Riliu for position, as Barger finally has to make yet another pit stop, just about begrudgingly. And he should be just ahead of Danilo Goyana, who's currently running in 15th. Or it could be that Danilo Goyana will take 14th place, and then Barger will actually be on the final points positions. And not only that, and possibly, if he needs to be careful though. Tyler Williams is fast approaching, but I think there is not going to be any a lot of problems there for the Swiss driver. If suddenly Barger causes Tyler Williams' crash, then there's going to be massive talks in the Nissan garage about the situation that has unfolded. But right now, Barger is currently comfortably, or rather not so comfortably, ahead of Williams. He's now lost 9 position and to make that second pit stop. There's already questions to be asked between the essentially the race engineers and the pit crew. As you can see here, Tyler Williams now continues to lead this race very, very comfortably. And Vlasa Damashev is being overtaken Riliu for 4th place here. Puts Riliu on the off. He actually was on the outside defending against Vlasa Damashev and was moved off wide, not through contact, just by pure intimidation. So Riliu's now down in 5th place. Joshua Asahi currently in 3rd place. It's a great run for the assistants. Thanks to everyone watching. You're about to see the conclusion of the 2024 SUGO 500 split B race. As you can see here, we're now coming into the penultimate lap of the race. Tyler Williams just continuing to be in complete control. Joshua Asahi continuing to stay in 3rd place, but Vlasa Damashev is on the charge. He has a serious chance to actually deny Hakui Koyori and the Honda drivers of a podium here in Sportsland SUGO as he's about to go around the outside of Joshua Asahi. Vlasa Damashev is driving like absolutely crazy against these two Honda NSXs who are only able to manage 124s. Damashev has been managing 123s. And it's now going to be a case of defending against Damashev to give Hakui Koyori and the assistants their podium. We'll check into the stats. We will check into the stats here of the Hakui Koyori drivers in Hololive GT3. This is when the Honda started racing. No podiums in 2023. In 2024, like the previous season, the Koyori drivers have also struggled to finish inside the podium and inside the Zako. They have also actually just want to remind you that the Hakui Koyori Honda has actually scored a podium at Motegi, and he wants to bring the Hakui Koyori car back onto the podium with another 3rd place finish. And now it's Tyler Williams starting the final lap of the race. We're going to be asking everyone this question. How much grip does Amane Kanata have in her hands? According to her calculations, 50 kilos. And that is the grip that Tyler Williams has onto this race lead and on this race in general. He doesn't start on pole, but he has absolutely blistering race pace to call for. His pit stop strategies are also bang on for a driver of this quality. He's going to be looking for his 1st win of the season. He's going to be looking for his 2nd win in general. He's going to be Amane Kanata's looking for her 3rd win in aero competitions. The Wonderlander is going to be shining with Amane Kanata's name on the history books, with Tyler Williams rounding the final corner. He will be winning his first race of the season, his second in Hololive GT3, and his third, and Amane Kanata's his third. He wins this 2024 SUGO 500 Split B race. Masaraido will finish in 16th place, a lap down. Not the race that he's been looking for, but at the very least, it's something to kind of be excited as. Just want to remind everyone that Masaraido actually finished on the 1 lap down, so he doesn't really count in 2nd place. Shakib Reza will be crossing the line to actually finish 2nd place with the new fastest lap of the race, 1:22.122. He went off with a bang in this race to score his best finish in aero competitions, and also in NH's best. Vlasa Damashev has beaten Joshua Zahi for the final positions. For the final podium position, Vlasa Damashev has actually beaten Joshua Zahi. Heartbreak for the Joshus, the assistants, and for Joshua himself. As the Koyo Klo drivers finish 4, 5, Joey 6, Rio 7, Rajagizinski 8, Duciem 9, Richie 10, Nakamura 11, Cashew 12, Goodwin 13, Goyena 14th. And Daniel Barger will be scoring a solitary point. What can you say about Tyler Williams? He just has a very, very amazing race. What a race that he has had. Possibly the best race that he's had in ages. Like, for him to win by 38 seconds? This is just crazy. But anyways, let's not backtrack ourselves anymore, as we're going to immediately get the results in. So Tyler Williams scores this big W for Amane Kanata, with Momosuzu Nene's driver Mohamed Shakif Reza in 2nd place with his best ever result in aero competitions for both himself and Momosuzu Nene. And in 3rd place, Vladimir Damashev has actually caused upsets against Asahi and Ryu. Apologies if we haven't got the last lap pass actually recorded, but we'll get to that actually later. 4th place goes to Joshu Asahi, and then 5th place goes to Ryu. Joey finishes, just wanted to check the cars. Ryu, of course, finishes 5th. Joey finishes 6th as the best finishing regloss driver. He will be in the, well, he is going to be in the CEO Series spots provisionally for now, with 7th place actually, I just wanted to check, 7th place actually going to Hochizono Rio, and then 8th place going to Raija Kaczynski. Just wanted to check here. Another great race for Hochizono Rio, another decent race for Raija Kaczynski. But reduced here despite having to make 2 pit stops, and especially that 1 pit stop at the later stages of the race. Ducem does finish 9th. It makes a valiant effort to get close to Kaczynski. And we have Hosha Marine driver Lorenzo Ricci in 10th. In 11th, we have Irene Nakamura for Akai Hato. And then we have Mohamed Cashew for Tsunamaki Watame in 12th place. 13th place goes to Jake Goodwin. Just wanted to check on the cars. Jake Goodwin finishes in 13th. Danilo Goyena finishes 14th. And and Daniel Barger finishes 15th. And just wanted to check onto the results as well. For the drivers outside points, Masaraido finishes 16th for Todoroki Hajime, with Shango 17th for Ishizuru Ririka. He has a set of troubles throughout the race, so can't really fault him that much. Sakaji Mikalev finishes 18th after crashing out lap 2, and Hofumi just hasn't been able to start the car, so he finishes dead last. So now we'll be checking onto the replays to see what has exactly happened. So apart from Hofumi, who just hasn't been able to get out of the car, so as you can see here, that is Hofumi's car, and his car just remains stranded here even after the start of the race. This is this is during the start, so you can see here Fumi just continues just to stay at the back, just could not get the car out. And that's very unfortunate for him because he's had a pretty decent run so far. And another car that I feel like didn't deserve the crash early was Isakaji Mikolev, because you want to know how bad the situation was? Take a look at this. So it was Isakaji Mikolev actually racing Lorenzo Ricci further back, as you can see here by the replays. Oh man, you can see here on the replays that he was collected like good measure. So let's see how the events unfold once again. Just wanted to check back. So you can see here, oh, it's actually a bit crazier. You can see here actually Sakaji just went off wide on his own. Take a look here. He just went off wide. Got spun and got collected T-boned by Masaraido, which explains why Masaraido was struggling on his own. There's no visible damage on the car, but you can see here the amount of contact that both of these drivers have faced. Fortunately, both of these drivers are okay. And looking into Mikolev's onboard, which of course started with why him going off wide as he in. You see here? And just went to the in the middle of the track, just could not get his car back in control. Here's the onboard, actual onboard for Mikolev, not the good race that he's been wanting. Oh. Serious amounts of damage onto the car, but fortunately Masaraido was able to continue and he did finish in 16th. And looking into the final lap pass of Vlasa Damashnev, just wanted to check what happened to Joshua Sahi on the final lap. So it was actually in the start of the final lap of the race actually. So apologies if we didn't actually cover this. So let's take a look into some of the other angles of what has actually happened. So you can see here, it all started right here at this section, SP out. You can see here how much Joshua Sahi has been struggling for grip. As you can see here, Sahi tried to think of covering the outside line prevent Damashev's progress, but that in turn actually messed up his run into the final corner. And of course, Damashev actually manages to use the positioning of his car to get the best exit and to actually go down the inside of Joshua Sahi. What a great move that was from the Rosendal driver to make him win that final lap to steal third place. Very, very great stuff. So we are going to save the replay and just hope that the championship standings are able to be loaded as expected. And I don't think, Assetto Corsa has crashed. So we're going to have to take some time to actually manually input the results, but fortunately we did score the results in manually in the spreadsheets. This is to allow us to essentially it looks to me that no, never mind, the score has actually already been settled. So let's take a look into the championship standings, as we are going to be taking a look into the standings of the 19 drivers that compete in the Split B race. Tyler Williams currently leads the Split B charge with Mamashake Reza in second place. Vlasa Damashnev is in third with Joshua Sahi in fourth, and Joshua Sahi and Riley was in fifth place. And then we have Joey sixth, and then Hoshizuna Rio seventh, and then Raja Kaczynski eighth, Maverick Duciem ninth, and Lorenzo Ricci inside the top 10. Irene Nakamura is in 11th place with 12th place driver
Mohamed Cashew in 12th, and Jake Goodwin 13th. Danilo Goyena 14th, and Daniel Barga runs out the final driver who scores the points. And as for the DNFers, Sean Go, Hofumi, Isagaiji Mikalev are your DNFers, with Masaraido actually in 16th place. 17th place goes to Sean Go, 18th place goes to Isagaiji Mikalev, and 19th place goes to Hofumi. So there's a very, very interesting championship prospect to look into as we are going to finish the stream here. So with that out of the way, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the stream as we are going to close this weekend with a bit of a preview coming in for next weekend. It's the title decider for Formula Hall Japan for the year 2024. Both the Suyo and Zako Cups have lots of things to go for, and we just want to see if, how it goes for the Formula Hall battle. So we hope everyone is able to watch in those streams as well in the next week for the deciding race of the Formula Hall season. That being said, I'm Amama Shazam in the commentary booth, and thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and take care, everyone.